So the reason why I'm making this video tonight is because I want to share my story and how this started and where it started and what are some of the things that I've seen and some of the things that I've not seen. Today I'm not on visual because I will be doing a video call and some of the things that you need to understand. So I'll do audio so that you can listen and keep here because it will be so informative. It will be very informative anyway. Now, basically, myself, I have been working in different sectors at the same time operating in two phases. One of the phases that I really wanted to do in life was journalism because I trained for journalism. So I did journalism, I did so many things, doing radio production, doing editing, video production, and some of the radio station materials and TV. But later on in life, things did not work out when I wanted. But I went to school, just like you. And this is what is happening to everyone else out here. Many youth who have qualified, they have gone to school, they have done college, and they can't find the job to do. So we are urged by our government that we choose on basically it was about what should you do in life so that you can bring something on the table. And besides that, you cannot just, as a young man and with ambition, with a lot of energy and a lot of future that is promising, I couldn't just sit there and wait for many or the bigger doors to come or something comes on a silver plate. So I had to think out of the box and listen and do consultation here and there. But I decided that first I have to look for something to make a living. One of the things that maybe that did not resonate with me well is the delay of the opportunity that was about to happen, especially when it came to issues concerning journalism, and doesn't even click on the young people out here. And then thousands and thousands of people that are young people that are getting graduating every year, and we are all looking in this with the same companies to employers. So what I did was I was doing it, yes, but part-time. Sometimes I've done voiceover for so many ads. I've done a voiceover for a Bible, voiceover for local languages here in Kenya. I have done scripting. I have been on radio in one local radio stations here. I have hosted a radio station, but it never paid me the way I wanted to do, because when you're working in a starting or a startup company, first of all, the first employees you have to sacrifice a lot before the company starts making some good income so that you can also get some good salary. So it was a mega cash that we used to pay. Sometimes we just go without pay. But time is running, and at the same time age is also running about you. You need also to accomplish some things in life when you reach a certain age. So this happened to me, and I decided that I'll not just sit back and watch as things unfold, and at the same time I need also to ensure that I'm providing for my family and unfortunately with our siblings who are still available, who are still at school, and they need also some support. Then later on, when it came to when I decided now to go back on the route, now going back to the drawing board, what should I do? That is almost 7 to 8 years ago. So I decided to go back and just look for something that I can do with both my hands, something that I can participate, another skill that can make me busy enough to an extent that even if I'm thrown out, I can still have a self-employment outside here. So a friend of mine called me and introduced me to this hospitality industry. So when I came to the hospitality industry was to learn quickly because I didn't have time. Listen guys, it was to grasp out the skills and ensure that I am the best. That is what I wanted to know. So with the skills that I have and the knowledge that I have with the research and everything, I went to the hospitality industry. I just started out as a dishwasher. And they all say that when you learn a skill, when you see something, you touch it, you hear, and then you feel it, you'll never forget. And that is what happened to me, because I could see, I could feel, I could touch, and I could practice. And I thank God, because the first kitchen that I was working for, the first restaurant that I was working for, the executive chef realized that I was having some ambition. And remember, guys, this is after some almost 4 years, okay, out of 5 years of tamaking with journalism. So I went to a new skill that I didn't have an idea. So I started now learning and promoting me from one level to the other. So I later became, after the dishwashing, I spoke to the chef, I went to the HR. They told me, if you have the capability, then you have to move forward. So they gave me an opportunity. I started learning some of them, doing helping in terms of arrangement of vegetables. So I was part of the vegetable, making sure that I do understand some of the terms and everything. And it was a very nice platform which gave me a wider range of understanding the whole thing of the vegetable sector, and how to preserve, how to keep, what is the arrangement of meats and everything. If you're arranging a chicken, arranging seafood, and like that. Those are some things I learned in my early days in the hospitality industry. But I did a lot of research and also learning online to ensure that I grasp all the skills that was needed. So before that, I also promoted. So I started learning, going back to the kitchen. I helped the cooks, I helped the line chefs to ensure the sous chef in preparation of sauces, preparation of the soups of the day, like that, until I was now the line cook. And as I went up, my CV or my resume also went up. My skills also improved. I could get recommendations. So I have all the recommendations that needed to me. So one of the things that I didn't go to a formal school, but what I know is I have the formalities and I have the skills learned, and I have enough recommendations that whenever you leave me somewhere, you even if you came from school, I think we can do something. Okay, basically later on in life, I have been I've been working here, going here. And then something came to me one time when I went for an interview somewhere, and then I pulled out my CV. It was about a certain technology company, agricultural technological company, which was looking for someone who understands social media and media in terms of social media advertisement or digital advertising, digital marketing, some of the sort. So I went there and proved out my skills, but the HR or the interview panel asked me a question that really made me fail. It was not my first time to fail. Yes, I failed so many times, but this one is one that really opened up my eyes. Why? Because always my CV or my resume was just one resume. So the resume that I was using was it had this part. This year I have worked as in a restaurant, and at the same time working in the media. So it was so confusing to someone who could hold my CV and listen and ask myself, okay, who are you? If someone asks you a question, who are you? Then I could not even tell who I am. Okay, even if I defended, then you could say, okay, you're defending yourself because we understand the society right now doesn't have enough jobs to accommodate all of us. That's why you guys are doing part-time. But who are you? If I called you a name right now, what profession should I attach your name to? So after that interview, I failed, but it really opened I thank God, because it opened up my mind, and then I realized, okay, this is how it goes going. So I decided to make 2 resumes. So I have 2 faces and I have 2 resumes which I can defend even perfectly well together with with both skills and everything. So I have two resumes which can work very well, which if you put me there, then we can move on very well. Now, one of the things also, later on, I decided I made my resumes, they are up and beautiful and nice. They can sell me to the industry that I go to. So after a few years later on, after working in the industry, working from this company to this company, I've worked through almost 7 restaurants, okay? And all of them, I have all of them the recommendations. So later on, if one of the friends last year, but 2021, he decided to ask me, right, so they were still chatting there, they were fresh from school, and they were still talking about, there is another interview for a cruise ship that is happening in our college, in Utali College, which is the international, is a national college for hospitality industry guys in the country. So after hearing about it, and then I asked them, is it going on? Yes, okay. What happens? Okay. People are going there and they are submitting. So it was about Royal Caribbean. So after I went there, I found thousands and thousands of young people who have gone through hospitality industry classes with degrees and diplomas. They are being hired. We did an interview for I reached there around 9 in the morning, but I left there around midnight. It was almost 1 because some of the candidates used to sleep there because Royal Caribbean came in conjunction with the Kenya Ports Authority. Was it Kenya Ports Authority or Kenya Maritime Authority and the Kenyan government? So through the Ministry of this ministry for abroad, I don't know. So they are the ones who came and they shared information. So every service there to enable you to go for to enable you to get a job on a Royal Caribbean was there. There was a team from the police service. They could offer you a police clearance certificate. There was a team for passports, immigration department. Yeah, you could pay there and apply for passport there and then. There was a team for medical team. They were there to examine you and give you a medical certificate. There was a team who from the government, they could test you for COVID and give you a certificate for COVID. And then there was a team which was now holding for interviews, okay, for Royal Caribbean. They could assess you and then give you a link. When you click on that link and then you go for that. I went through all those stages. Then later on, I went back to work. That's after 2 days. It was my off day that day. Then the following day, I went back to work. Now, while at work again, I'm very good in terms of social media and checking some of the available opportunities on social media. So one day, I was on my LinkedIn, and while on LinkedIn, I realized there's something I saw someone posted. It was just a small post without any picture, without anything. He was looking for a pizza on a cruise ship and what. So I decided I'll try that. And then I just applied. So after application, I think it was after 2 days or 3 days, and then I saw something the following morning. I was staying with a neighbor who had Wi-Fi. So he gave me the password so I could wake up in the morning, check my social media, check my email in case there was anything. It was my routine. I check my email when I wake up in the morning before I go to work. So that morning, it was I think on a Tuesday, so it was a Wednesday morning. So I woke up, I checked my notifications. I saw there was a reply from someone. Then I said, maybe these are just normal notifications. So I opened up when I was having my breakfast, and then I saw there was a reply from someone saying, regarding your application on pizza position, your CV is interesting. Can I schedule you for an interview the following week, the next week on around 10 a.m.? No, I told him, okay. Then I said, wow, this is nice. Then I replied the email. I said 10 a.m. because I'll be at work. It won't work. Can we schedule at 4 p.m.? Then he said, okay, that's nice because 4 p.m. I'll usually leave my work. So after that, I scheduled the interview, the interviewer to to that 4 p.m. He said, okay, see you then. It seemed someone from abroad, because he was quoting time in this, I don't know, time Greenwich is 4 p, it is GMT, something of the sort. So I said, okay, 4 p.m. Kenyan time. I said, okay. And then the following week, I tried to search for these guys' social media handles. I couldn't find. Said, oh, maybe these are scammers, but let's see. Then that following week on Tuesday, it was a Wednesday. That following week, it was a Wednesday at 4 p.m. I was ready. He said he will do a video call on Skype. I downloaded Skype. I sent him my Skype ID, then we confirmed. So on that day, on Wednesday, 4 p.m., he was on video call, and when I joined immediately a call, he was there waiting for me. So we just did that conversation. He asked me, what do you do? Where do you work? What is your experience? How many years of experience? What do you do? What if this job, are you ready? Do you have passport? We were just conversing. We were just conversing. He was a gentleman. So after did conversation, I told him I have my passport ready. I have everything confirmed. He said, now these are the documents you need, and then you have to pay for your visa, and we are looking for guys in pizza. If you have colleagues and friends, please make sure you call them and refer them to me. Share with them my email address so that we can see whether they can join you. So that's how basically it started. But I went on, and then I did the first interview. I looked for my good conduct. I looked for my certificates, COVID booster. I looked for all my supporting documents. I went for medicals. That is after 1 month, because I didn't have enough cash. It's obvious that you don't have enough money to do everything altogether, okay? Because you need funds when you go for medical. You need funds when you go for visa. You need funds when you go for what else? Police clearance. And these offices are not found within our region. Some of them are very far. So with medical, I had to travel to Mombasa to do the medicals. He did not ask me for STCW. That's number one. You need to understand, they never asked me for that, because they told me the company will hire you even without that. But later on, because this is your first contract, you don't need this. So you'll have to do it later. Okay, so after a few years, I think after 1 month, the salary of the other month, living with only one salary every month is not enough to have savings. So I used my salary for the other month. Then I did everything correctly. I sent him all the documents. He sent me what they need, what I need to prepare myself to go on board. He scheduled me for the next interview, for the second interview, and I passed the interview. They said, congratulations, welcome on board. Then I started purchasing what I need. I went home, and then I paid for the visa. I sent them visa information. They booked visa for me, visa interview. I didn't do it myself. They did for my behalf. I just gave in the information. So what I did on my back end here, I started looking and searching for what are some of the questions for visa application. If I go to the consular, to the US embassy, what are some of the questions? How do you conduct yourself when you go to the visa interview? What are some of the questions? How do you reply? Okay, so all of these I landed online on the YouTube and searching online. It was a privilege for me because I got the right information. Then when I went there, it was early morning, went with my wife. I dropped there, reached there, did all what was necessary, and then my visa was approved. So I sent my visa approval a message to the guy. He's the guy from the agency, and then he told me, congratulations, now you have to wait, because tell us when you're ready. And then I told him the day. He told me, okay, this day you need to be ready because we are going to send in your ticket. And that's how it was. Just like that, guys. So sometimes people can face differently, and I don't know what other companies, how they do them, because I was once on the RCL portal for Royal Caribbean, but later on But later on, what happened on RCL for Royal Caribbean, it took so long because there were thousands and thousands of young people asking for the same role. And remember, on Royal Caribbean, I had applied for the junior role, but this one, they gave me at least a senior role. So when I decided that I'll go for Princess, after I was now on board, I've worked for almost 3 months, is when now the RCL, the Royal Caribbean, now they came back to me. They replied now my email, and then they told me now you can now proceed, or I don't know, there was a letter of employment was now ready, so you need to proceed. I said, okay, thank God you replied, but I'm already on board in another ship. So this happened like that. I want to say a few things before I complete this statement or this story. We face differently, and our hurdles are quite different from one year. We face different problems. Okay, so because I went through this one, I wanted to prepare someone, because maybe you can go through this one or not, or you can face a different. And I know different companies, they have a different style and different recruitment processes. It might not be the same like what I did. It might not be the same people like the one I did. It might be I went through the agency, but you might just go direct through the company. Okay, we are not looking at the job, and the demand for the job might not be as much as while I was doing them. Okay, but you just keep your hopes high and ensure that this is going to happen very soon. And make sure your papers are clean, make sure you have all the documents, make sure you have your recommendations. Some of the companies that are using online portals that you fill in your documents, they are quite so they take so long, but you have to be patient, because I have seen guys that have waited almost 7 to 8 months before their LOE to appear. So this one is just a call for you guys. If you want to really get this job, you have to be very patient. It might not happen as quick as possible, but I have seen someone who's also that happened like this. It is just as quick as, because I travel like my traveling ticket appeared today, and then my colleague or my friend that I had shared this news with also traveled like the following week. And then one of the guys that also I introduced and shared the email to, he went to the embassy and he was not approved by visa consul. So it might happen like this to you. It might not happen, but does not mean that that's the end of everything. We try as much as possible. We try now, we try tomorrow, we try the following day, until we get what we want. If you feel this is very important, then make sure you subscribe and hit notification bell. That was a story for tonight.